Hi there, I'm Ephraim Gopin of 1832 Communications. Thank you for watching this episode of the Weekly Send, where I help your nonprofit upgrade your email fundraising and marketing efforts. We're going to continue this week learning about best practices for fundraising emails. This email comes from Crossroads Mission Avenue, and we'll start with the subject line, Double Your Life-Saving Impact. As I mentioned last week, matching campaigns work. So you want to make sure that you announce it in your subject line. And this is a good place where it's a good idea to capitalize the word double so it stands out now. And I know, hey, my gift will go twice as far. In terms of who it comes from, it's good that they write Crossroads Mission Avenue. So I'll see that in my inbox and want to open it. The email address, though, comes from contact@Crossroads Mission, and so is the reply. I'd want a person's name there because I want it to be a one-to-one communication between someone at the organization and the individual subscriber. I'll show you in 2 minutes why that's important. The email opens up with this good header image here. It captures my attention, and I want to continue to read more. Help 2 times as many struggling neighbors now. The use of the word neighbors here is very good. I want to help people in my community, but when you frame it as neighbors, it could be somebody I know who's having problems. It could be a next door neighbor. It makes it a little bit more personalized to me, the potential donor, and that may be a good incentive for me to want to give. So the use of the word neighbors here is good. The email opens up, Dear Ephraim, and I want to share with you why that's really important. Email is one-to-one communication, as I mentioned earlier, between someone at your organization and the individual subscriber. So if you have that person's name, personalize the email. But 2 data points to help that. Number 1, if you use my first name, my name, in the subject line, you can increase the open rate of your emails by 50%. So put the person's name in the subject line, more opens. If you personalize the email itself, you can increase your click-through rate by up to 35%. That's a lot more people clicking your call to action button, a lot more people donating. So if you have the subscriber's first name, personalize the fundraising emails you're sending them. Exciting news, you have an incredible opportunity to make twice the life-saving difference for our neighbors who are struggling. And they share that this is a $10,000 matching grant from a generous donor. And then they use this image here, which I like, to show you when you give 25, it becomes 50. So you see, now you can visualize doubling the impact. The email continues, your generous gift doubles to provide twice as many meals, twice as many nights of safe shelter, twice as much immediate help for people trying to make a new life for themselves. This is good. It tells me the impact of what my donation gets. Now I want to show you the entire email itself. You can see it's not that long. It's actually very short, and there's a good reason for that. The average read rate of an email is 9 seconds. That's it. It's not a lot of time. In fact, most people just skim and scan the emails. So what you really want to do is make sure it's easy for them to skim this email, see what you want them to do. This is the problem. Here's how I can solve it. I'm going to click and I'm going to donate. And that's what this email does. It's short, to the point, uses this image to help me visualize the amounts I'm giving, tells me what the impact is, and then ends over here with the e-signature from the executive director, which is an excellent way to end the email. Again, it's a one-to-one communication, so it's coming from the executive director directly to me, which is why earlier when I mentioned the email address it comes from, I'd prefer that the address and the reply to would have been Daniel's email address, because then it's really one-to-one communication, and then it's really personalized to the point where it's going to really incentivize me to want to give. Last week, I mentioned the importance of a PS at the bottom of your fundraising emails. This call to action button sort of serves that purpose. Yes, double my impact. So they've added below the signature at the bottom a call to action. You click, you go, and donate. One thing I want to point out down here is the footer. The footer is some of the most important real estate you have in your emails, and you should use it wisely. They use it wisely by adding the social media icons. Person might not want to donate right now, or they don't read all your emails, but you want them to still connect with you so you can develop a relationship with them in other ways. It doesn't always have to be via email. So let them follow you on Instagram and you can connect with them that way. So it's important in your footers, have your social media icons. In terms of the mobile version, You've got to remember, again, skimmers and scanners. Over half of people read email on their phones, and you got to make sure it's easy to read, which is why you have to have plenty of white space, which this email does. There's plenty of spaces here so that the paragraph's short and simple, easy to read, and there's space between them. This image, it stands out. There's plenty of white space here on the sides. This is a easily skimmable, readable email, and that's going to get more people clicking your Donate My Impact call to action button here at the bottom. Takeaways for today's episode. Number one, personalize where possible. It'll get more people opening your emails and more people clicking your call to action button and giving. Number two, remember the read rate is only 9 seconds. That's all you got. So you got to make it easy to skim, short amount of content so that I can quickly digest what you want me to do and go take action. And number three, on the mobile version of your emails, make sure you leave plenty of white space so it's easy for subscribers to read or skim. Thank you for watching this episode of The Weekly Send. I'll see you next episode.